Well, good evening. Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Cheryl Merritt, your host for Kingdom Atlanta Live, and I am super excited about tonight's show. Y'all know I'm super excited every time I do a Kingdom Atlanta Live show because they are so purposeful. It's not just for me getting up here um, chit-chatting or whatever. They all serve a purpose. And tonight I'm especially excited because I have my good friend, Dr. Cherry Collier, as a guest, and we're going to be talking about community. So right before I bring her up, I just want to share just a little bit about Kingdom Atlanta. If this is your first time watching, if you're going to be joining, watching the replay later, Kingdom Atlanta is a platform where I am galvanizing people to use their time, talent, and treasure to be of service to others. And what I mean by that is you may want to donate financially to help me help others. You may serve as a dentist or a doctor, and you are willing to donate some of your time to someone less fortunate, then I'm putting all that together in my database and my platform. And so if that's you, if that you're interested, you see what's going on in the world, you see that we need to build community, have options, have resources. And so that is the purpose of Kingdom Atlanta. So I encourage you all to join me. So without further delay, I'm going to bring up Dr. Cherry, and I'm going to have her introduce herself and all the amazing things she does. Please welcome Dr. Cherry.
Greetings
Hey,
and happy day. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am so excited to be here with you. I consider you to be one of my sisters in my tribe and village. So I'm just, happy to be in this space with you.
Excellent. So now you reminded me that we met decades ago as Peach Bowl hostesses, right?
That's right. That's right. Atlanta, the Peach Bowl, and it's so beautiful to see what's happened with the Peach Bowl since we started. But
Yes.
that was in the early 80s.
Maybe the night it was 80 something or 90 something. Maybe
Uh,
it was 80 something.
it was the late 80s
Late
going into
80s.
the 90s. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I was at Spelman. Yeah, it was 80s,
Oh,
the late 80s going in because yeah, that's when
okay.
by the time I got to Georgia a little bit later, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how we met. And you've been super important in my life and we're connected on so many different levels and we have so much family. So I love the work that you're doing because when you think about a kingdom, it's extremely important to uplift people and to just help people stay connected. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Thank you for saying that. And as well, I definitely have leaned on you several times to kind of, look at what I was putting together, give me your thoughts and insights, and utilizing all your organizational skills to just help me put it and other things together. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. So I want to let you introduce yourself and let people know all the amazing things that you do as we get ready to get into the conversation.
Yeah, so thank you for that. So I give you my elevator pitch. Greetings and happy day. I'm Dr. Cherry. I am by trade an organizational psychologist. I work in the daytime helping leaders with strategy at the intersection of people, process, and technology. I am a strategic advisor. And my passion, though, my life's work is about helping people cultivate the fruits from within that empower success. And that is how the Unsinkable Mind was born because 25 years, master certified coach, working with leaders throughout the globe, seeing that that hard work does come many times at a price. And so right now I am working with calm over chaos and what I like to consider life, liberty, and the pursuit of calm. So
Mhm.
I have this belief that we can do something for profit that brings you a, a paycheck, and then you could do something that's your passion. So you don't have to choose. It's like the left brain and the right brain coming together, and that's the intersection. And I will say just one more piece. My current adaptation of my day job is AI and AI executive intelligence and how executives use it to bring them better judgment, a better life, and a better quality. So that's where I am. So that's me. So thank you for allowing me. And wait, I got my PhD from the University of Georgia,
Go
and
dogs.
I also graduated from Spell. So go dogs.
Yes, yes. And you are Bulldog 100, right?
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
So my company was number 9 on the Bulldog 100. And sis,
Wow.
when I tell you that that was a very big moment for me because my whole life I wanted to be in the Bulldog 100. And I honestly thought I would be like 99. So when I ended up number 9 on the Bulldog 100, I said, all praises,
Yes.
the universe and just thankful,
That
thankful.
is that
Mhm.
is amazing. Congratulations again on that. So yeah, that's just another, and that's one thing too. As we get into the conversation, I want to talk about the intersections of different communities because we've already talked about, starting out as Peach Bowl hostesses,
Mhm.
and so we were part of that community,
Mm.
and then now our connection both as UGA alums, we're part of that community, and
Mhm.
so I want to talk about that as well because I feel like a lot of times you can look at the different communities that you're a part of
Mhm.
and see where those intersections are and maybe where you can pull on strengths from those people that you already know. It's not necessarily having to build a whole new infrastructure for community. Can you comment on that a little bit?
Absolutely. And so, one of the things I think that is so important comes right out of the University of Georgia, and that's that concept of never barking alone. And when you think about never barking alone, it's important that you think about all of the intersections and making sure that you reach out to people. So I think one of the things that makes our relationship so powerful is you're in a sorority and I'm in a sorority. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people don't understand that, well, she is a Delta and you're an AKA. Yes, but we're human. And
Mm-hmm.
I support her 100%. And that's it's really about the love. And so when you think about community, particularly people that have African heritage, the calm part, the communal part is extremely important to how we were raised. And I mean, the Sunday dinners and all of those things. And so us still having those connections from Sutton, from Northside to
Mm-hmm.
Douglas to all of those things, I mean, that's like the intersection and what has made Southwest Atlanta so great. And to me, what makes the world so amazing. Never barking alone. Just
Yeah,
reach out and say, "Hey, help me." Yeah.
I love it. I love it. As I am building Kingdom Atlanta, I often tell people I feel like Noah
Mhm.
before the rain. Like, so people are like, well, what is this you're doing? And why is this necessary? And, you know, it's a God given vision. And so I know that it's really for such a time as this, but I
Mhm.
see now the urgency of it now more so than ever because we're at a time when certain resources and things that people have depended on are not, the sure thing anymore.
Mhm.
But we have the answers. We are the solution. And it's
Mhm.
just a matter of galvanizing those resources. Like with Noah, it was like God gave Noah the instruction and said, okay, build this, and prepare and do all this,
Mm-hmm.
gave him the layout and everything, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then, said he was going to send rain, and Noah didn't know what rain was. And so, but he just did it out of obedience. And so sometimes I feel like, oh, Cheryl, you got to do a greater job of explaining it. But sometimes I want people to just tap in and get it too. How do you feel? What do you think is one of the challenges of building communities that, that could benefit some of the people that are listening?
Well, first of all, I think in 2026, it is important to recognize that social media is taking away from community. And it's
Mm,
building a community, but it's taking away from what we know as community. And it's
mm,
always interesting to me when my best friends and people that I care about will post on social media that they had a flu, and they don't bother to tell the people that want to drive over there to make sure you're okay. So you're telling the world that you have a flu, but you live 3 miles from me and I don't know. So a
mm,
part of building community is our belief that this machine is actually connecting us when connection means connecting. And so I have for a long time, I would not send out a group text message because that was frustrating for me.
mm,
I didn't want 22 people responding. Like when I send a text checking on people, I try to go one at a time. How are
mhm,
you? Just one message, one message, one message. Now, I found out that's not as effective because if you're sending out 200 individual messages, sometimes people will respond and they're 200 up and you can't come back. But
mhm,
the thing is that the center, the hub, um, has to there has to be a way for the spokes to reach out and connect.
mhm,
And we don't understand that some of that has to happen in like this conversation that we're having, a one-on-one conversation, or
mhm,
in person, or in a virtual intentional situation, because many people are suffering. As my best friend, Shanti has, her group, silence is shame. People are suffering in silence and they aren't willing to, to share that information. Um, so when you think about Noah's situation and what was happening with Noah, I liken that to also what was happening when Moses had to cross that Red Sea.
mhm,
He needed additional information. Like he was standing there and he stared at it, but is not until you start to walk that
mhm,
the sea starts to part. And so when I'm thinking about what you're doing and what you want to bring, it's like, okay, Cheryl knows what she wants to do. And so you just have to keep walking and knowing that that Red Sea will part. And on the other side, the people are going to come. But it's all about the movement, the connected movement, and bringing people, in the Noah example, and animals,
yeah, right.
bringing them together, understanding that, we really need to understand what community is. And it's not just me putting up a text saying, are you good? Or.
Mhm. And that brings me to another point, back to the Noah example, is that the people, not only did Noah not know what rain was, but the people, nobody else,
Mm,
that was about to be wiped out knew either. And so in that same instance, it's like you almost feel like you're in a um uh, trying to warn people, like trying to get people ready for something, and they don't fully understand the extent of what's happening around them yet. So I
mhm.
feel like that's kind of a place that I'm in now. But I definitely would take that. I feel like I'm on your couch now, um,
Yeah.
taking, like, really processing, like, it's the steps. You just keep moving And in that movement, the next step that I should make will become clear. Yeah.
Right, because here's the thing, leadership by definition is influence. And so if you look around and nobody's following you, you're not the leader. And
Hmm.
so the leader has to move. And as the leader moves, that's how you get the followership, right?
Hmm.
And so putting yourself out there, constantly putting yourself out there, you'll have one follower, then you'll have two followers, then people will start to get the vision. And the other thing that comes to mind is this whole concept is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I think
Mm.
part of it, sometimes we want people to understand, but they don't need understanding of this, right? So understanding is really in the spiritual aspect. They just need to understand, the word and understand that piece. That's the only understanding that they need. I mean, actually, we're doing a little bit too much with our prefrontal cortex. So what they really need to do is to what you want to do is get them connected to the feeling of how it feels to be supported and to support, because that's
Mm.
all that they need. So if you're trying to start a movement, you want to start with the smallest, simplest piece. And you've heard this before. It's not about anything else other than how you made them feel. And that's what, when we go to church, when people go to church, they walk away with this feeling, and that's what they feel. And so if you just keep connecting and they have a feeling, then they're going to come. The people will come.
Excellent. So when I tell you that I'm going to go back and listen to this and take notes and write out some strategy based on what you're sharing,
Right.
I am not joking. So I can't remember when. I think it was late last year when you started the Unsinkable Mind.
Hmm.
Um, can you talk about that? Because I think just the name itself drew me to it. And then I know you as a leader drew me to it. But I also thought about the times that we were in, the things that we were going on.
Right.
I was feeling a certain level of anxiety and trying not to be caught up in it,
Mhm.
trying to be strong and, not get caught up in so much. Couldn't look at a lot of news,
Right.
just really had to protect my mind. So I instantly joined, and I'm sure you had something out there about what the community was, but it was just such a draw, I
Mhm.
think. And can you talk a little bit about the community and maybe like what was the impetus around forming it and what you hope to accomplish with it?
Yeah, and thank you for that. So it was the time. It's the times that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm meeting people, so many people are saying that they're drowning. And I'm thinking, okay, so if you feel like you're drowning in this everyday, everywhere, all at once world, what can I do to help us? And when you think about putting on a life vest, or you think about the other pieces of information that we need, the most important thing is to have community. And that's what you're talking about. Like, we need each other. We need other people to know that when we look at the news and or don't look at the news, this crazy stuff that's happening is still impacting me. And
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't matter whether we look at it or not, we do feel stress. And there has never been a time where people have reported more loneliness, more stress, and particularly in the African American community, it is truly hitting us. And what I wanted us to do is to be able to separate, the things that are happening from who we are. And this thing is about understanding calm. And so I took a trip to Thailand at the end of December, and that trip for me was about helping people to start recognizing life, liberty, and the pursuit of calm. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what we have to get back to, because we were created in a perfect image, and that perfect image came with the concept of peace and calm. And so everything else that's happening around us is truly a myth, right? So it's like we get sucked into these stories and we feel so adamant and we keep reposting the one line that Martin Luther King would say, if you're silent, it means this and all of that. But we have to recognize fundamentally what God gave us is peace and calm. And
Mhm.
not to get too scientific, um, the brain automatically goes into fight or flight. That's where like we were designed to think about a threat. You know, we're
Mhm.
scanning for threats, and way back in the caveman days, it was like, is the lion trying to eat me because I need to move? Right? Is the lion coming from me for me? And so it's the fight or flight, but that's automatic. If there's danger, danger. Remember danger, Will Robinson? Like you're in danger. That's automatic. But what isn't as automatic for us is calm. And so the activation of the prefrontal cortex, we have to engage it. You have to do something to bring yourself back to calm if you're scanning for threats all day. And so I
Mhm.
think that I don't even want to say we've forgotten it. I don't think that we've been taught it. You know, it's easy to give people medicine saying, oh, you have ADHD, let me give you some medicine. But that's easier because then I don't have to focus on all the little children that I need to teach the intervention skills. And so, as a person who does have ADHD and a person who is dyslexic, that has never taken medicine, that absolutely loves my brain, because for me, it was always me learning how to say, hey, hey, come back. You're over there. Come on back. Come on back.
Mhm.
Come on back. And my brain said, no, 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 I'm up. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. You can do it. And so that is inside of me. That was put in me. Like when I
Mhm.
was born, it was in me already. And so there is nothing wrong with my brain that's everywhere. I also have the power to summon calm. And that's the point of the group. Um, right now, it's just, every day, just taking a moment and thinking about how can you find calm in whatever it is. Out of the 24 hours that we have in a day, you can't tell me that 60 seconds for you weren't good. You can't tell me that. I'm not going to believe it. Like if you want to say you had 23 bad hours, that's fine, but you can't tell me that you didn't find or there weren't 60 seconds that were good. And that's
Mhm.
how you get back to activating your rest and digest. So most people say fight or flight, but you don't hear rest and digest. And those are two competing systems that operate within us. And that's why I brought it, because too many people are feeling like they are about to sink. And I'm like, y'all ain't going down on my watch. You're not going down. Come on. So
Mhm.
we are sending lifelines out to each other. And that's what you're doing. You're sending out a lifeline. How can we all get together and, hold each other and stay out the ocean? Because every time I hear somebody say that a shark attacked a human, sharks don't attack humans. You are in the land where the shark lives. When a shark
Mhm.
comes in your house, that is an attack. We are supposed to be in the pool, right? Or in a boat. Sharks don't attack. And so I want people out of the ocean into pools.
I love that. I love that rest and digest.
Rest and
Um,
digest.
and a lot of times, if you're not resting, you can't digest, right?
Ooh, you better say it. And some of us have overactive brains. And so again, not to get all into the technical pieces like executive functioning, some of our brains are overly busy. And the older that many women become, they will start to get the diagnoses of ADHD. I will, I don't care. whatever. You can call it what you want to call it. You can accept it or not. But it's that we're managing too much stuff. We're just doing too much. So you don't even have to call it ADHD. You could just say we're doing too much. And that is causing the chemicals in the brain to be scattered. And as you start to be intentional about some of the things that you're doing and even spend, a few minutes a day just sitting still and recognizing that boredom, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Be bored. We are terrified to be bored. We are terrified to be bored. And so, yeah, thank you, Adrian. Yeah, we got to get back to resting and digesting and understanding that we don't have to fight every battle. We weren't born to fight every battle. Even in the Bible, when Jesus was in the back of the boat and everybody was running to him all confused, like, why aren't you up? He was sleeping, he was resting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he woke up and said to the water, be still, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to understand that still waters run deep. And so we can be still, we can find calm in everything that's happening. You can find it. And I'm just, that's my thing. I want us to have it.
What kind of response are you getting from those in the community?
Oh my goodness. It is a great response. And the word that first word that came up, and I have to, I'm so honest, I'm very transparent, is overwhelming, because sometimes you intuit, sometimes you do research, but then things start to happen and you don't realize how many people are really stressed. Like, people that you see every day, they are texting you like, thank you, because people are going through it. We are really going through it. And it's not that we don't believe in, God, or we don't believe in the word. That's not it. It's just so much is happening. And so it has made my personal need to validate it and really help people understand. Hey, Ebony, make sure that people understand the need and how to manage it. And just like Ebony, I'm not putting her personal business out, but people like Ebony, who in the world would have ever thought that she would be facing all of the stuff that she's facing? And so my role in that is just to text her. It's not, I don't send scriptures when I text people. Like, I don't do that. I don't send anything other than I love you. Because I think that people are handling already too much. Like, I love you. And just emojis, because we just need to know that there is somebody in this planet, in this community, that cares. And I think that that's why we're here. We're here to be that witness, to be the living testimonial, to make this time, when you're talking this kingdom, that's what it's about.
No, that's really good. And you are really good about that. You will, even if I just shoot you a quick text and, I might be triple tasking or whatever. Yeah. And I'll just say something real quick. And then you'll respond so sweet and you say, love you. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love you too. Like, but that's really good, because it does make you stop and realize that sometimes in your speeding through things too, you can overlook things, and that kind of makes you not be able to rest and digest either, because you're just trying to do too much. Sometimes we need to figure out where our sweet spot is, and know that when it gets to a point where we need to pull back to reset, that's okay. That's not, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not supposed to be superhuman. We just depend on what God to put his super on our natural, and that's how we can do extra, but without it, we're all human and we can only
And I
do.
think that is so powerful because think about this, Cheryl. I spend a lot of time helping people understand that we are human beings, not human doings. And so we spend so much time doing, do. What can I do? That we forget to be. And
Mm-hmm.
so, when you're a being, it is a different place. But also in that being, what you just said is so profound because we are not God. And every day we are so exhausted because we want to control everything from the toilet tissue in somebody else's house. Do you know that one of the biggest stressors for people is who put the toilet tissue um, over and under? People get stressed out. The reason is because they want to control the situation. It's okay if that toilet tissue is, however they want to fold, that's fine. Um, and once you start to recognize that um, God is in control, He will allow you to rest. You get that opportunity. You get the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to sleep. I'll be honest. When my mother transitioned, um, I went home and went to sleep. I mean, of course, I cried myself to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the first time was when my dad died. I said, okay, I know I'm not in control because I would never have let that happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Never. But when my mother transitioned, I said, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I am not in control of anything. So understanding that I am not in control and recognizing that if the Red Sea is there, if I walk, when I walk, the Red Sea is going to be parted. That means that God gave me free will, and my free will allows me to go and do the good work. And it's important that we understand that we're not in control.
Yeah, no, that is really, really good. And it's even, I'm even thinking of times sometimes you get to a point where you're like, okay, oh, I got this to do, I got this to do. But right now I think I just want to do this and rest and give myself a break, or I might watch the game or something like that. And then, but even in those times, sometimes it's some we are human, so we need to be, not just one-sided. We can enjoy many things and do many things. But then you may get a revelation in something that you see, right? You may get inspired from that break that causes you to say, oh, I'm really gonna, go for it. Like I'm not, like, just as an example, when I was looking at the championship game the other night, congrats to Indiana. Should have been the dogs, but at any rate, there's another, hey, anyway. But
We're not in control. We're
I
not in
thought
control.
about, right, when Mendoza, when they went for it on that 4th and 5, right?
Mhm.
And he bust through those people and did a Superman dive into the end zone. And it's like his will and determination. And then it showed you why he was a Heisman Trophy winner, right? But
Mhm.
I'm sitting there not just looking at it. I'm like, okay, God, I hear you, God. You saying that even when they're saying it's 4th down and everybody's saying no, they need you just need to take the little 3-point field goal. But your coach is gutsy, like Signetti, however you pronounce his name, the Indiana coach, Signetti. I might be pronouncing it wrong. But no, we're going for it. We are going for it. We're not gonna, stop. And that really inspired me. Like if it was anything other than just seeing a good game, that is, that really helped me that night was seeing that and realizing that no, you can't ever give up, even when the odds are stacked against you, even when the naysayers are saying, "Oh, I should have just took the 3 points."
Right.
Even when everybody else, I think the whole Saban, Desmond, all the panel from college football, except for the funny guy that does the kicks. I forget his name. The $1 million kicks. What's his whatever. Everybody picked Miami to win that game, except for him. And so it just made me feel like, okay, you got it in you. No matter what it's looking like, no, don't even worry about the score. It's time to go for it. We don't know. It's time, certain amount of time left on our clocks. It's time to go for it.
Right.
And so even in our resting, and sometimes you may feel like, oh gosh, I should have been doing this instead. Or I could have had the computer up while I was doing that. Well, I might have missed something too. So I like to look at it as the balance of it. For me, I think that's helping me to not have a mind that is sinking into an abyss of just constant news cycle about this, or constant reporting, negative reporting about this, or constant fear mongering, or, all those type of things.
And so what I love about the world and how perfect it is the neuroscience supports that, right? And so people don't know that, but when you take breaks, that's when your insights happen. When you're in the shower, that's when you get your best ideas, right? You're like, well, what happened? And what happens, like when you're in the shower, it's because most of us are left brain logical people. So we've been thinking all day, and a shower is a right brained activity. So that's when your brain is connected. Left, you're thinking, right, the water is touching you. It's a kinesthetic thing. It's coming together. And now you have aha, epiphany, and insight. And so those insights come when you do things that you don't think that you should do, because you got to punish yourself, because I've got to sit here and continue to do the work. And what we don't understand is the work is exactly what you said, watching the game, because that story that you just explained so beautifully is going to inspire more people than anything else that you could have done. And so when you are inspired, then the message is coming through you. And the message comes when we rest and digest, we start to play. And so those are the different ways that we can activate our rest and digest. So watching a game, taking a break, literally playing, dancing, moving. Most of the things that are right brain that we don't do, because we're all like this all day. We're like literally our body is stuck and we're not getting oxygen. So when we start to move and laugh, look at the game and say, oh my God, I know they're not going for it. And then you see that, and then you get the insight. That's the lesson. That's the message. And it comes to us so much more clear when we are open and not, kind of looking forward. So that's you're laying out the neuroscience with the Miami game. Yeah. With that, with the Indiana game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because bet.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of knew that was coming. I saw it coming, but.
And you know what's so funny for me? I just I checked out. I checked out when Georgia left. And I checked out because I don't think that we had to leave. I just don't think we had to leave that soon. And I do think that we do have, some problems, a coaching problem. I really do. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's Kirby Smart. I think that there is, somebody on the coaching team that is not helping us, which is why I actually think that's why Beck is over there, and he was able to get that far because that coach coached him the way that, like, that offensive coordinator gave him the opportunity that I think that he needed. So even though he did Beck, I do think that if we had a different, person, that would be different. But when I looked at,
and he threw some bombs too. Now, he was balling out, but at the end, yeah. But no, that's a good That's a
Yeah.
good point. And I felt like it was going to be a good game, and
Yeah.
which it was. I mean, it started out slow,
Right.
but that's the other lesson in it too. Things can you build in your community,
It's slow.
and you start out slow,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like you're also building a defense against things that could derail you, right?
Mhm.
You're as you are growing and trying things out and refining your message and refining it again, or refiguring it out, um, that those things are also helping you in lessons. I want to ask you, what are some maybe ideas or recommendations that you would have to some listeners that are also building their communities? Whether I know I got some people on here that are
Mhm.
doing some things, community service related or ministry related or whatever it is.
Mhm.
We all in our own way, whether it's officially like an Unsinkable Mind or a Kingdom Atlanta, we all still have our communities that we are somehow a part of and contribute to.
Mhm.
But specifically, what would you say for those that are building community,
Mhm.
that would help them?
So I think for me, community is, and that's the big thing. Community is, and
Mm,
I think that we've got to get out of seeing everything polarized. It just can't always be the left and the right.
mm-hmm,
Just can't be. Because when we do that, people just get rooted in whatever decision that they made. Um, and and there are more people in the middle than there really are on the left and the right. So you got people on the extremes, and this is straight statistics. So I taught that when I used to teach at Spelman. The normal curve on the tails, there are only a few people on the tails. The majority of the normal bell curve, 70% is in the center. And so if we could just build to the center and just love on people, just love them. I hear so many people justifying why they can't speak to folks because they support Donald Trump and da 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 da. It's not about any of that. It is for me in that final analysis, what they said they were asking Mother Teresa, God is going to ask me, what did I do?
yeah.
And that's the only answer for me. So
Mhm,
if someone chooses to vote based on their own selfish self-interest, I'm still going to love them. I really am. It's not going to be what I would want, but I will never be able to change their mind or get them into my community until I have a conversation with them. So direct experience is the way that you change minds. So protesting and doing all this stuff, you're protesting with the folks who already believe what you believe, right?
mhm,
So if you really
mhm,
want to genuinely build community, build it from a place of love and just welcome people and ask questions and just continue to be open. I have an open community. I have, people always. I would never want to be in a world where people who think like I do. I don't even think like I think. Uh, I think that you should have people that follow a person who you may not even understand why they're doing it. And then talk to them, and that's how you convert. When you really start to pay attention to, what they people always say, what would Jesus do? Jesus was not in these churches. He was out. And
mhm,
I was reading when the monks were here, people were like, why did people go see the monks? Well, if you study religion, as I did, you would know that Jesus also learned from the Buddhists and the Buddhists learned from him. If you go to the different temples, you will see in the Blue Mosque, there's, you know, um, Mary with her baby Jesus. So it's not. So he is every. He went everywhere. He talked to every.
Mhm.
And it is important that we build community based on what the true principles are supposed to be about, and that is community is love is, and that's what we need. We need love, and when you build it from that place, it doesn't matter where you are. People are going to find you. So wherever I am, whether I'm in Thailand or right here in Southwest Atlanta, my community people are going to find me because they know that I am love, and that's my true religion. It's love.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Um, I guess we can get ready to start wrapping up. I do want you to talk a little bit more about what you do with all of your ventures, and then let people know how they can find you if they want to connect and be a part of Unsinkable Mind. Please share all of that information.
Yes, thank you. So, for Unsinkable Mind, it's on Facebook. It's Unsinkable Mind, Calm Over Chaos. That is my community. And in the daytime, in my daytime role, um, I work a lot with with leaders and executives, and I do a lot with AI. And the big thing for me with AI, because everybody, if you look on YouTube, everybody's like, well, how do you make money with it? It's not for me about how you make money with it, but I partner with leaders to understand how they can be a thought leader, and AI is a thought partner. So
Mhm.
I have coined the term AI executive intelligence, and authority still matters. So people can
Mm.
start to understand how they can build their continue to build their brand, because that's what's going to be most important. And so I'm not into marketing. I'm into helping people build the critical thinking skills so that they can hire the marketing people to do what they need to do. But you are the architect. God has given you what you need to be the architect. And so I partner with the architect so we can get the doers to do what needs to be done. And I want to say this: if people are not using AI, it you're doing yourself a disservice. And I am offering a workshop on that in the next. I need to figure out what the date is. I forgot what they said because I don't do details. I am the architect. I am the architect, but people need to understand how to use it so that we can get this word out, so that we can, build communities and really help people. So you can find me at drcherry.com. You can find me on Facebook, Cherry A. Collier. You can follow me, and you can know that I am a person who may not have ever met you, but I love you and I believe in you, and that's just going to always be my message no matter where I am. I don't care what your position is. You can come to me and tell me, something happened to you when you were 10, and you did the worst thing ever. I'm still going to love you, because my position in this world is none of us are perfect, but we were created in a perfect image. And my position is to help us to build what we need to build, together, very much like you're building this kingdom. And, by having me here, you are, walking. You are, then as you walk, that Red Sea
Mhm.
is just parting. It's just parting
Mhm.
because you're walking. So thank you for having me here. Know that I will do anything for you anytime. You are my sister, and I love you, and I'm truly proud of your work. And the other thing that I will say to everyone who's building, it's not about what you call it, because in branding you'll always need to call it what people need to hear for that time. So
Mm.
you need to have multiple messages from multiple people, because If I'm in a certain place, a long time ago, people used to ask me, do you speak Ebonics? I speak Ebonics. I speak whatever language I need to speak so that people can hear me. Because if people can't hear what you're saying, they can't digest the message. So in psychological terms, you got to get your foot in the door. So you might have to lead with a football thing. You might have to lead with something else. So
Mm.
once people come to you, then you can start to, bring them in. But that's again, it's about that. You got to have that connection because that's what we need. And that's why community is so important.
That is extremely helpful. Like, seriously, I've got to go back and listen and take notes and figure out how to incorporate a lot of what you share into how I'm building Kingdom Atlanta. What I do know is that when I do the Kingdom Atlanta live shows, the guests that I have, they're always strategic in that I know I'm going to learn something from them. My audience will too. And that it's also a piece of the puzzle for what the kingdom is supposed to be. Like what people can get out of it, how we can show up, just try to be a source of information. And so I want to thank you so much for all of your time this evening.
Thank you.
And everyone just thank Dr. Cherry. I put drcherry.com in the chat so you all can see it. And if you missed anything else, please go back. This will be live on, was airing, broadcasting live now, but you can always go back and see it on my Cheryl Merritt YouTube page. And I will soon be hopefully broadcasting on Kingdom Atlanta platforms, just getting a lot of that set up. But I'm going to let Dr. Cherry go, and then I'm going to give a few closing announcements. So, Dr. Cherry, thank you. If you want to wait for me in the green room, that's fine. Now that I know you're super busy, I'll follow up with you later.
Just know, no matter how busy I am, when you ask, what did I do? I said, we're going to figure it out. Because it's important. It's just important. It's always important. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, it's just important,
Definitely.
Nothing more important than this.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. I mean, it's I won't say it's rare, but it means a lot to have somebody that you can call on and they'll say, yeah, I can do it. And so I really appreciate you. And blessings on everything that you're doing, prayers for success. And I got you too if you need anything from me.
Well, thank you. I love you.
Love you too. So guys, as we close, I just want to bring up a few things. If I can get my thingy to act right. So you can find me at kingdomatlanta.com for more information. I am also going to be updating it with a landing page that has some updated information. Most importantly, though, I need you to, well, my thing is not clicking right today. My clickers aren't working. Oh, there it is. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Cheryl Merritt, and that's Cheryl with an S because I'm special. And it's Merritt, 2 R's, 2 T's. There are some people with my same name and same spelling, so make sure you see me. And you can also find past episodes of the Kingdom Atlanta shows there, and a lot more information about Kingdom Atlanta as well. And I just want to thank everybody for, tuning in, hearing more about community. Kingdom Atlanta is a community, as I explained at the beginning of the show. I am looking for those that know that we are the solution to a lot of things that are going on and a lot of things that we are facing, that we can come together, provide for those who are without. And that's not just physical needs, clothing, food, or that, but it's also of our talent, what we do and how we show up in the world, that you can also use that to benefit others. And the times that we're in call for it. So I just want to encourage everybody to find out more. Many of you may have gotten an email from me about Kingdom Atlanta, appreciating the responses that I'm getting. Look out for more information starting in February. We're going to do a Kingdom Love campaign. So with that, I am going to give you your time back, reclaiming your time so that you can tap in, think about your community, or either just rest and digest, as Dr. Cherry shared with us tonight. And with that, I'm going to say good night. Many blessings. Bye-bye.